Well, if you compare apples and apples and look in the United States, I mean, obviously Brazil and South Africa and other countries have a great number of gun crimes, and they have very serious gun laws. So gun laws haven't solved the problem in other countries. And where you've put in more gun laws in Australia and Britain, you've had more crime in general, more robberies, more crime. They've become less safe. Now, in the United States, compare the states, 50 or 57, however you want to count them. They've all got different gun laws,
okay, Van,
different rules.
Let me get Van in here. Let me get Van in here, because he's shaking his head vigorously. Van?
First of all, that's just actually not true. But I want to say a couple things. This is not about concealed carry.
It is true.
Hold on a second. It's not true.
You can't deny the science. You're a science denier, Van.
Are you going to let me talk? You've had a wonderful time talking.
Let's not be flat earthers about gun laws, guys, and statistics.
Hey, listen, I'm with you. I'm for stats and statistics. Here's what's actually true. This is not a debate about concealed carry. You want to move the argument over to something that nobody's arguing about. Nobody's arguing about concealed carry. People are arguing about military-style weapons on the streets of America and whether or not that is a good thing or a bad thing.
That's a false premise. That's a false premise.
No, that's not. It's a false premise.
Van, do you actually know what the difference? I'm going to correct you because
right
I'm tired of this talking point being put out there. First and foremost, let's get something straight. Military-style assault weapons are not out on the street. We are talking about semi-automatic weapons, weapons that are capable of select fire, or weapons that are fully automatic. Then you can use. No, I'm not going to let this go anymore, Piers.
No, Dana, you said this
use the
repeatedly on my
military
show.
term. Let's stop conflating. Let's stop playing about ignorance and let's stop conflating.
General Stanley McChrystal used the phrase. So forget us, forget Van, forget me. One of the great military commanders of the last 20 years in America said these were military-style weapons. So is he wrong? Do you know more about these weapons than General McChrystal does?
General McChrystal is also of your same ideology, so I want to put that out there first and foremost. There is a deliberate effort to conflate the types of firearms. I do not own a military-style assault weapon. Just because of what a firearm looks scary, then you call it military assault? Do you realize that one of my children has a BB gun that looks like an AR-15? Is that going to be considered a military-style assault weapon? It sounds silly and uneducated.
Adam Lanza killed. Wait a minute. Adam Lanza killed.
And it's dangerous.
Adam Lanza, as we now know, in the space of 300 seconds, using an AR-15, killed 26 people, Dana. He had magazines with 30 bullets.
Yeah.
Are you telling me?
And he reloaded four times. Anyone can reload.
Are you telling me that
anyone can reload?
Dana, let me finish. Are you telling me that doesn't qualify as an assault weapon?
By the technical definition, no, Piers. Anything can be qualified as an assault weapon. If you stab someone with a spoon, it can be qualified as an assault weapon.
So you're equating stabbing somebody with a spoon to shooting dead 26 people.
If this is a conversation about a ban on magazine capacity,
really? You're talking about stabbing somebody with a spoon?
Piers, you can take a speed loader and reload a revolver. 150 rounds, that means he had to reload 4 times. And the only reason that he stopped was because he heard authorities.
What you're seeing right now,
Van, this is the strategy of the people who actually deliberately want to disarm individuals. You guys talk about magazine, you talk about magazine restrictions.
Okay, let Van have his say.
See, this is a conscious strategy on the part of the pro-gun folks to constantly bring things back around to things that don't make any sense. You're talking about people stabbing people with spoons. If that were the problem we had in America, people stabbing people with spoons, we wouldn't be talking about this right now. What we're talking about is funeral after funeral after funeral. What we're talking about is our children being gunned down, and what we're talking about is common sense measures, not confiscating guns. We're not talking about that. We're talking about common sense measures that 90% of Americans agree with and that the majority of gun owners agree with. But when you guys get on television, you don't talk like the people who actually are the gun owners in America. What you talk like are people who want to take the conversation in a direction that has nothing to do.
And by the way, CBS, the latest CBS poll shows that support for these gun control measures is tanking. This is about disarmament. Let me ask you. Yes, no, let me finish my thought because I have a very logical thought that I want to let you answer. I'm tired of this conflation and this uneducation when it comes to using terms about firearms. Let's use accurate terms so that people know what we're talking about. If this is about limiting the number of children dying, let's talk about magazine capacity. Why, if 30-round magazine capacity isn't okay, then what's the difference between 30 rounds and what's the difference between 7 rounds? Piers, Piers Morgan, let me ask you a
What's
question.
The difference between 30 rounds and a
children, how many deaths are okay to you?
Let me explain
how many
to you the
deaths
difference.
are okay to
Let
you?
me explain the difference.
Answer that question.
Let me ask you a question. The difference between 30 and 7 is 23. So it could save 23 lives if there was a federal
So 7's
ban
okay with
on
you
any
then.
of these magazines.
7 lives
and you
lost
actually,
are okay with you then.
And you actually, no, you know what, Dana?
This is ridiculous.
Okay, I
is better
understand
than
that.
30,
7 lives
isn't it?
lost are okay.
7 is better than 30,
7 lives lost to you are all right.
30 are okay with you.
Dana,
Apparently
it's
30 are
better
okay
than
with
losing
you.
30. Yes, it is.
I'm just trying to establish where you draw the line. Where do you draw the line at preventing the deaths of children, Piers? I mean,
I would love to draw the line.
Any loss of life is horrible. But
I would love to draw the line, Dana, at 0 gun deaths in America
every year. So you do
every
believe
year.
in disarmament then?
I said
so you
0
do believe
gun
in disarmament?
Deaths. 0
Thank
gun
you.
deaths.
That's the answer that I wanted.
When did I say
disarmament?
No, wait a minute. You talk about conflating the argument.
Piers,
Dana, when did I say disarmament?
I'm taking it down. I'm
so
using
sad.
your logic and going down that road. If you're talking about limiting magazines, first and foremost, any magazines are universal. I can make one in my garage.
I said I wanted 0. I said I wanted 0 gun deaths.
Let's take that and throw that out. Okay,
let me finish. We have to go to a break, but you said I wanted 0 gun deaths. You announced that meant I wanted disarmament. That's the problem with the pro-gun debate.
I'm talking about your logic
Let's take a break.
when it comes
Anyway,
to
let's all
magazine
calm
capacity.
down, come back and talk about gay marriage. I'm sure
I want to respond to Dana.
that's going to be even more lively, probably, so let's try that.